chart visualization tool. So every one of you must have done something with some data in some point of your career. And once in a while, you must have come across the visualization, how to visualize your data. So you must have used maybe Python. So in Python, you must have used Matplotlib or something else. That in that we have to write a lot of code there. And we also need some kind of tool which can enable us to draw seamlessly and display our data in a more understandable format. And yes, one more thing, so that we can interact with our visualization. That will be very good. So Tableau is one of such tools. So let's move ahead and see. So this is the kind of dashboard which you can build using Tableau. So it is looking better than I think whatever we have drawn with Matplotlib or even in Excel dashboard creation and all. And most important thing is this is very much interactive. This is just an image, but in the tool I will show in Tableau tool that it is interactive. We can change our mentioned filters from here. In the right side, you can see filters. And we can display maps, we can display statistics, then we can display beautiful graphs of multiple kinds, pie chart, bar graph, and whatnot, waterfall graph, and many different kind of graphs. And very interesting thing about Tableau is that it just gives us the most appropriate graph by default, and we can choose other kinds of graph or images also for description. So this is the kind of visualization. This is the simplest one, I would say. You can draw even more beautiful visualizations and interactive visualizations using Tableau. So let's move ahead. So what is Tableau? First of all, Tableau is a data visualization and business intelligence software. So we have many business intelligence softwares in market. One of the most popular is Power BI by Microsoft. And then Tableau is also one of the most popular ones and highly used in interactive visualizations. When we have to create dashboards, we have to create stories. We'll discuss what are dashboard and stories, but in business intelligence domain, these are very much popular terms, dashboards and stories. So it helps people to see and understand their data effectively. So when we can draw these beautiful graphs, and not only beautiful, they are interactive and beautiful. So it is very easy to understand our data. We can draw insights from our data, and we can let others understand it in a better way. So I'll discuss some of the key features of Tableau. It is very user-friendly. We have seen, as I discussed, we were doing visualization using Matplotlib or something else in MATLAB and Python and all. But we have to write a lot of codes. Here in Tableau, we do not need to write a lot of code. In some situations, we do not need to write even a single line of code. Sometimes we have to create new fields. For that, we may write some queries kind of thing like we do in our database managed DBMS SQL queries and all. So only that is the amount of code which we have to write. And most of the times, we do not have to write even a single line of code. Still, we can create these awesome visualizations for our data. Then we can connect to multiple data sources, including spreadsheets and databases. So yeah, one thing I would like to clear that Tableau is not open source. Tableau is not open source. It incurs some charges. It comes in two versions, and which is one is Tableau in the cloud mode, and other is Tableau desktop. So these are the two variations of the Tableau, but both incur some charges. We have to buy subscriptions for them. But maybe that is the reason that they are able to use that effectively, the charge they are taking, and provide us the rich APIs on the background by which we can connect multiple data sources. We do not need to write a single connector. All the data sources that we can come across in our daily life, like spreadsheets and some database files, some other sources, Excel sheets, and we will see the number of sources. They are in, I think, 50s, more than 50s kind of data sources can be used directly seamlessly with Tableau. Then it enables creation of interactive dashboards, reports, and visualizations. So the image I showed you in the first slide, that was an example of a dashboard which consisted of multiple kinds of graphs, visualizations, maps, and statistics in a single page. And with the reports, that is the dashboard, and with the reports, we can add some of our textual annotations also. And the visualizations, independent visualizations are also there. So these can be created very easily in a very user-friendly way. No coding required, drag and drop facility for our use. And it can handle large, very, very large data and complex data sets. And it supports various types of data, various data types, and structured as well as unstructured data. So I will assume that if we are at the end of this content, this workshop, so we must have some previous understanding of types of data like categorical or continuous data, and some database terms like SQL joins and all, in database joins and all. So I'll not discuss them in detail, just I will tell them that how we can do that in our Tableau tool. So next thing is visualization and analysis. We can draw charts, graphs, maps, tables, and whatnot. And also graphs of multiple kinds. Then they are also customizable. Their color and all, every aspect we can customize according to our requirement. And they are interactive. The thing I like most about the Tableau is that we can use interactive filtering in Tableau. I will explain when we go to the tool what is interactive filtering. But that is a very rich feature of Tableau, that we can do interactive filtering. If we interact with one of the maps and charts, we can reflect its changes on the other maps and charts in a single dashboard. Then there is advanced analytics features like statistical calculations and modeling also. Then we can share our created dashboards online in a Tableau online way or in a Tableau server. So if we are in a corporate setting, we can just share it to a Tableau server where our colleagues can view it, and then we can get feedbacks and improve our dashboard even more, and can create a final dashboard which can be presented to the client or to whomever we want to explain our data. And we can access visualization through web browser and mobile apps. And insights and collaborations can be done by sharing and receiving the feedbacks. So that enables data-driven decision making. So let's go to some Tableau terminologies, and side by side, I will explain you in the tool what does that mean. So let me open Tableau tool also for a moment. I do have it installed, so let me directly open it. But for the sake of explanation, let me tell you how to download it. If we simply type download Tableau, we get this Tableau link, download Tableau desktop. So here we have free trials and then we can subscribe to that. So free trial is of 14 days. And in products, we can go to Tableau desktop, server, cloud, and all. These many products are there for Tableau. So if you click on this link, the download will start. And since I already have it installed, I will cancel it, but you can download it in this way. And other thing is Tableau Cloud, that you can just go and sign in and start using that. But today, for the functions and all are same in both. Only thing is that in Tableau, that is downloaded in your desktop, and cloud is in the Tableau cloud. And other procedures are just the same. So let me go to this Tableau tool. I have opened it. After you download and install, you can open it like this. Since I am in a trial period, I will just continue trial. I will not activate because that will incur charges. So here we can see this is the environment of Tableau. We have various menu options, file, like other tools. We can open, or we can start a new workbook, then data, server, etc. In the left side, we have this connect. So here we have various ways how we can connect to our data. So either if we have a Tableau server in our organization, we can go there and pick our data, or we can choose a file from our desktop itself if we have saved it. For example, if we click on Microsoft Excel, then we can just search for our file from our Explorer and we can open that. Here we can see how many databases are present. I have told you that 50s of databases are present. So connection, or how we can connect to them. So we have Amazon database management systems and all. Then Hadoop, Databricks, Dropbox, Google BigQuery, Cloud SQL, MariaDB. So we can see every possible data source that we can imagine of is there. So all the connectors are pre-written, and we have to just pick our connector and choose the file. So for today's explanation and visualization, I'll choose one of the saved data sources. If I had a saved data source in our Excel format, I could have chosen it from my desktop also. But I'll choose it from the sample files of Tableau. So this is one of the sample files, Superstore. Let me open this database, this file. So it is processing that since it is a large database, so it will take some time. So this sample Superstore is consisting of multiple tables which have been joined. So if you go to data sources and all, we can see the explanation of the data, how different tables are joined, people table, return table are joined with orders table. We can join ourselves also using this new union, and we can create various joins like inner join, outer join, and all the types of joins, and combine various tables into a single table for further processing. Thankfully, in this example, these are already joined, so we need not do that. Otherwise, we could have done. So here, this is the interface. This is a sheet which we can call workbook or worksheet. This is the newly opened, and here we have options for new worksheet or new dashboard or new story. In the left, we have description of our fields in the table. Then the top, we have various options, various menu options, file, data, worksheet, dashboard. So some of these options are available in our interface also. Otherwise, we can access it from the menu options. Here we have option to add new data source. Then we have sorting options. These are not currently enabled, but if we choose something which can be sorted, these will be enabled. And this example is to swap rows and columns in our visualization that I will show in a live example. Here we can present, and through this option, we can share it to other people in server or somewhere else. So let's go to our presentation, and we have this. So dashboards, we have seen below three options, that is worksheet, workbook, dashboard, and stories. So let's see what are they. Dashboards in Tableau are a collection of visualization, reports, and filters displayed on a single page. They provide a consolidated view of data and enable users to gain insight at a glance. So the first example, the image I showed you was a dashboard. It consisted of different visualizations stitched together in a single page, along with various statistics also. And there were some filters also. So that is a dashboard which stitches together these things. Now we have worksheet. So worksheet is the main area where we do our operations. First of all, that is drawing some displays, drawing some insights in form of statistics or maps. So these individual things can be drawn on different worksheets. After that, they can be tied to a dashboard. So first of all, we will draw individual pieces, like one map on one worksheet, one set of statistics on one worksheet, different one. Then a graph on different worksheet. So these different worksheets we will draw, and we will just try to present it in a presentable format, which can later be combined into a dashboard. And after combining into a dashboard, we get the consolidated view. And then one more thing is there are stories. So we can create Tableau stories in which we combine visualization and text annotations both. So worksheet you have seen is a set of visualizations. If you add text annotations to them, like a piece of text, a report, then it is formed into a form of stories. The name suggests it is like a storytelling, telling the story of our data. For example, even in newspapers and all, you must have seen, they present some text and some side-by-side visualization and all. So that kind of the stories can be formed using combination of visualization and text annotations. These stories enable users to weave a cohesive narrative around their data and guide viewers through a series of insights or findings. So if presented properly, we can explain a lot what is hidden in the data. We can explain through visualization and text annotations so that it can be understood by a reader. So here we have options of stories here. In the bottom, we have new story option. Middle option is new dashboard, and left one is new worksheet. So these three are the options to add new items. Okay. Moving ahead. we have dimensions and measures in Tableau. So once we load our data set, we know from our DBMS understanding that there are some categorical data or attributes, and there are some continuous or numerical or quantitative attributes. So dimensions represent categorical data. So in categorical data, we can not perform the calculations which are performed in normal numerical data. We can do counts of values in that, but not like addition or subtraction kind of mathematical or some other logical things also. Means some of them we can do, most of them we cannot do. So dimensions represent those set of data in our data set. So we have categorical data or qualitative attributes. So examples of dimension include product categories, regions, or customer segments. For example, customer segments can be like home, industry, personal. These segments can be there for customer segment if there is a customer segment data somewhere. So we can see that it is a qualitative attribute. So in our Tableau, since we have loaded our default data set, one of the pre-existing in the Tableau, you can see here there are some listings. Here are measures names and all. And here at the top of the about tables, we have a search field. In search, if we click, we can do like dimensions, measures and dimensions. So here we have measures, and maybe here it has changed it in some other format, but yeah, okay. So there's a filter side by side, the search bar, in which we can filter by dimensions and measures. So let's see what fields are in dimensions. So fields like customer name, that is not a quantitative one. Then there is region, state, city, postal code. These are not. Hello, anybody having some problem?
No, Ashutosh, you continue. I think someone's mic is on. Yes.
Okay.
Sir, நீங்க கடைசி அந்த 5 நம்பர் மட்டும் விட்டு வைக்க
So if
சொல்லிருக்கீங்களா?
we do search for filter by dimensions, we get these fields. Something in the chat.
சரி சரி அதே 3:30 தான் இப்ப.
Can it be muted if nobody is asking something?
Yes, Ashutosh, I have muted. You can.
Okay, thank you. So let me close it. Okay, so I have filtered it using this filter, and I have clicked dimension. Okay, I have double clicked it. I will click dimensions here again to show you, and we have these fields, and we can see that these fields are qualitative fields. These do not indicate any quantity, but they do indicate some section or some type of something. For example, country, region, state, province. These are not quantitative but qualitative fields representing some division of data, section of data. Order ID, category, manufacturer, segment, then various such other fields. And then there are some things called measure. Let me go here. Yeah. So measures represent quantitative data. We have seen dimensions which are qualitative attributes. Measures are quantitative and numerical data. And we can perform functions like we can aggregate them into sums, averages, counts, etc. So let me show you by filtering using our measures. And yes, we have fields like discount, profit, quantity, sales, and all. So we know that these are quantitative fields. We can do operations on them. Okay. Okay. And the symbol, we can see that there's a hash symbol that represents basically the measures which are already there. And equal to represents, here we can see there's one equal to sign. That equal to represents that we have calculated that manually. Maybe when this data was created, one manual field was created. I will show you how to calculate a field, but this is one of the examples which we can see. An equal to sign before the hash can represent a field which is calculated. Then there are filters. Filters allow users to narrow down data based on specific criteria. Users can apply filters to focus on relevant information and analyze subset of data. So we can find filters somewhere here also, but basically in data we have this. But basically we have one field here, filter. So if we draw something in the filter field and select it, we will be able to filter our data using that field. But for now, I'll cancel. When I'll explain data by drawing it, then I'll explain how to use filter. But here we can access it. And yes, it is written hide card. So these different things are called cards. Here is filter card, marks card, pages card, and all. Then calculated fields. As I told you, calculated fields are user-defined fields. These are user-defined formulas or calculations within Tableau. I've shown that there was one equal to sign before a field. So that is one of the calculated field which the user have himself defined from the pre-existing columns of the data. So they enable users to perform custom calculations on the data and create new measures or dimensions. So from new measures or dimensions, if we create calculated field, we'll get a calculated field with an equal to sign in front of the field to annotate that it is a calculated field. Then we have seen marks card. Marks card can be used to change different attributes of our visualization or statistics like color, size, label, detail, and tooltips. So let's go to marks card. We have option of color. We can select color and opacity from here. We can select size of our data and all. We have text, detail, and tooltip. So when we have visualization, if we hover above our visualization, we can see some displays, some related information about that visualization. So that is called a tooltip. We can set how a tooltip will be shown, but there is also one pre-existing default value which will be shown. So as soon as I start drawing visualization, we will see the tooltip also. Okay. So this is the marks card here. Then we have, okay. So what will be the workflow of Tableau? So workflow of Tableau will be like this. I will keep on showing you and toggling between these windows to and fro. So connecting the data. So I have shown you there are a lot of ways of connecting to different types of databases. There are more than 50s of databases to connect into, and we have chosen our sample data. So we have already connected to the data. It took some time to load it, and it has finally loaded the data. Tableau supports a wide range of data formats and offers connectors for popular data sources. Here we have Tableau, and it is a subscription-based model. So yeah, they present rich features of connectors. Otherwise, in Matplotlib and all, we have to write our connectors separately for different types of data sources. Then we have data preparation tools, creations of worksheet, and design of dashboards. So let's go and try to create some visualization. Now we will be doing complete practical analysis. So let's first of all draw a statistics based worksheet. So we have the data here. If we go to the data source, we can see different fields here. So whenever we start creating our data, creating our visualization from the data as analysis, we must put a lot of time, means 15 to 20 minutes at least, to view or study the data. What is actually the data? So here we can simply see that there are some fields, data types are mentioned, and the tables of which they are part of. So these are the fields in the orders table. Here we have the complete table. Ship date, customer name, segment, country, region, city, state, province, postal code, region, category, subcategory, product name, sales, quantity, discount, profit, manufacturer, and all. So we have the data here. Let's start our creating first worksheet. So in this, I'll create a sales dashboard. I'm naming it dashboard, but it is actually just a worksheet. I'm just naming it dashboard because the name is apt there. So I'll just rename it from here. We have other options like creating new worksheet dashboard, new story by right clicking. Or we can duplicate the current worksheet or whatever we have, story dashboard, from right clicking. So I'll just rename it from here. I'll write sales dashboard as it is a sales data. As soon as I press enter, we can see the name sales dashboard. So now we have to draw some statistics here. We have to put some statistics. So we can see rows and columns fields here. So without telling also, you can understand that what are rows and columns, and if we draw some visualization using them, how they will be formed. And in the top right corner, there is a show me option. And there are a lot of options available for charts like highlight tables, heat maps, highlight tables, text tables, symbol maps, horizontal bars, tree maps, lines, area chart, scatter plot, Gantt chart, bullet graph, histogram, area chart. So whatever we come across in our daily life to display our data in a beautiful way, understandable way, we have options here. Currently they are disabled because we do not have any visualization here. As soon as we have a data here, we will be able to see some of them are enabled for change. And Tableau will itself suggest something which is best suited for that. So here we have a sales dashboard. Even we can just change its color and all. We can do it bold and change its color to something like this and apply it. We'll do sales dashboard itself. Bold, and we'll change the color. Let's place it in the center and apply. So we can see the sales dashboard field here. Now we start putting our statistics. So in sales dashboard, which should be the first statistics. So we have some charts, so can we insert multiple files in it? Multiple files, as in if that is a part of the same data set. Yes, you can add, because that's why we have option of creating joins. So that should be related at least. Otherwise, what is the purpose of adding multiple files? So if we add related multiple files, then we can add them and create joins. So now in the sales dashboard, let's first put what is the sum of sales. So we have the sales dimension here. We'll filter by measures. We have sales measure here, and we can drag and drop it to our rows or column. So as soon as we drew it to our row, we have that already drawn visualization. And we have some enabled things also, like here. Only one thing is enabled, as histogram is also enabled, but okay. So these different things are available. So let me do Control Z. So since I do not want it like this, I will change it into a label or text. So let me delete this. And I'll, instead of dragging it to rows, I will drag it to text like this. And it has automatically aggregated it to sum of sales. Now if we double click here, we have sum of sales here, right? We have sum of sales here. And then we'll see
publication.
what is the profit, total profit. So we have profit here, we'll double click it. And now we have fields like profit and sales in our sales dashboard. So let's include something else. I think we had profit ratio somewhere. This is a calculated field because there was equal to. So it was manually entered in this database. But even if we want to enter another value, I'll show you how. But since it is already there in our database, we will just put it. So we have sales profit ratio, profit. And suppose let's draw profit per order. Profit per order. We do not have here profit per order. So from here, the menu, besides the search bar, we have this create calculated field. You can also search it from the menu options, but even without that, you have it right on the left using this option, the drop down menu. So I'll click on create calculated field. So let me create profit per order. So I am doing this as per the data set. You can tune it according to your data. Since I have sales data, so I'm doing it in a sales way. We can require multiple visualizations in future, so there can be lot of things which can be done on different type of data sets. So I've created profit per order, and here I have to enter the formula like in the way we do SQL kind of things. So what is naturally the profit per order? That is the sum of profit by number of orders. So let me put profit, but I have to do sum of it. Let me first put the aggregation value. So as soon as I start typing, I have some options. I'll choose sum, and we have the display here, the syntax in which we can write. Be under it, under the brackets, small brackets, we will put the expression. So our expression is just the profit. Let me select it. So it has entered it. So I divide it by count of orders. That is order IDs we have, the field order IDs. So the number of order IDs I'll check using counting it. So as soon as I start writing, I have some options. We have count D. So count will count the total number of orders. And as we know in a data set, especially in a sales or whatever kind of data set in which we have some primary, means we can repeat the non-primary key kind of thing. Suppose there's a count field, which we have to calculate, and there's an order field which have order IDs. So one order ID may contain multiple bought things. So one order ID can repeat at multiple instances, multiple rows. So we'll count the distinct order IDs. So let me use count D for that. Count D, D stands for distinct. And I have to count order IDs. So I have 3 order related fields. I'll choose order IDs. Just put OK. So we see that profit per order is created and there's an equal to sign just before the hash, representing that it is a calculated attribute. So let me double click it. We have profit per order. So, okay. So we have it. Let me stop it. So this is the field. Let me draw it in a different way. I'll represent it in a row format. So here we have this data, and I'll just use this swap rows and columns option. So as soon as I do this, we have this visualization. So we can simply choose a different visualization or different fit for our representation. We'll use fit width for now. So this is the way it is shown. Let me include some other fields quickly. Average discount. Let me use average discount. So I'll choose the discount option. And I have here sum of discount. We have in the measured value sum of discount. So I can change the aggregation function from the drop down menu in the measured value card itself. So here we have measure sum. We'll change the aggregation value to average. So it's average discount here. Then I can include quantity. We have quantity here. So how much sales is there? So these are the number of items sold. So this is the quantity. Then we can include like, let's say sales per customer. If a customer is coming to our website, what is the sales we are able to do in our customer? Okay. So I'll just choose another field. We will write create calculated field, and I'll do sales per customer. Let me write it in this way. And I'll enter the formula for it. What should I enter the formula? Simply sum of sales divided by number of customers. So let me write sum of sales divided by number. For number, I'll use count. And again, I'll use distinct count because one customer can buy multiple times. So it will be represented in multiple rows. So I'll choose just the distinct one. So number of customers, customer name, and do a OK. We have the field created here on the left, sales per customer. We'll double click it. And we have it here. Let me rearrange it so we can easily rearrange our data in this using just dragging and dropping. So drag it, sales here. Then let me drag profit here. Then I want to show profit ratio with profit. So I'll drag it here. Then again, profit per order, I want to show it with profit statistics. Then with per order, I want to show per customer, sale per customer, then discount and quantity. So here we can see discount is 0. So it may be that it is a very small number, maybe that is why it is showing. Let me change it into a percentage kind of thing. So we'll just click it here, right click and use format. So before that, let me change the sales. Sales, we can see that it is a number. Let me change it to a currency format. So I'll use right click and format. And from here, we will select here we have different options, rows. Let me do a format here, measure value. Where is the sales? Sales is here. Okay. So from the measured values, not from the worksheet, from the measured values, if you right click and press format, you will get this view on the left. So from numbers, you can select currency. I'll choose English USA so that it is displayed in dollar because the data is from the data contains states and countries of North American area. So I'll use USA. If I had state and all Indian, then I would have used rupee for that. If I use in India, then it will be in rupees, we can see, but I'll just change it to dollars. So I'll change it to United States, English, here we have. Okay. So we have sales here. We can also change the number of decimal places up to which we have to show it. I'll customize it to 0 decimal places. I'll just show the number before the decimals. So here we have sales. Similarly for profits, we will do the same. Right click, format, choose currency from the drop down, English, United States, and 0 decimal places. Now profit ratio. For profit ratio, we'll again format and change it to a percentage. So we have option of percentage, scientific, number and all. So we can explore for different data types. What are the options? For numbers, these are the options. So I'll use percentage, and as soon as I use it, we have 12.56%. If you want to change it to a single decimal place, we will just change the decimal place to 1. And we have our profit ratio as percentage. Profit per order. This also we can change to dollars. So I'll just right click and format it and change it to currency, United States, and customize it to 0 decimal places, just the whole number we want. Then we have sales per customer. Again, this is also a currency value. So sales per customer also we will format and use currency and 0 decimal places. As soon as I change it here, it is reflected in my dashboard, in my worksheet. Then what is the average discount? So average discount is 0 here. Let me change it to percent. So some things will have 0 discount. So it has come down to 0, but in percentage form, we may find something. So let me go to average discount and change its format to percentage. And we have percentage here. And quantity is just a whole number, so I'll leave it to that. We can change colors and all here. Let me select all. Now we have marks card here. So we will start using this also so that we may be aware in future if we want to do it. If we want to change the color of our data, I'll use just colors. And I'll choose some color like this lighter color. And okay. Let me again select. I don't think it has changed. I'll select it. Okay, it has changed. The color is changed. So let me try to change the color here also. Color. Oh, only a single color. Okay, all have changed. And there are other options like size. If I change the size of our data is changing. So we can customize it according to our need. Here we can set the alignment, left aligned, center aligned. So center aligned looks good. So I'll just keep it like center aligned. Details and tooltip. So tooltip is here defined as measure name colon measure value. So in angular brackets, the field is defined. That field will be converted to the value of the field and displayed when we hover around it. Here are options. On hover or instantly, we have to show the tooltips. So let me show you what it is. We have seen that tooltip was measure name colon measure value. So let me hover around it. So we have sales colon the value here. Similarly, everywhere we have these things. So now let me show you what a dashboard is. So in this way we create worksheets. Let me show you how to create a dashboard. So we have dashboard 1 here. Here we have sheets on the left, and we can simply drag the sheets to our dashboard and it will look something like this. For now, let me keep it like this and I'll add some more visualizations. So for that, I have to create a new worksheet in which I can draw new visualization. So let me draw a map. Since I already have location attribute with me in this data set. So let me put it into let me just remove it. For removing, you can just drag it to some empty place. Let me expand the location. And I have region field here, a state province field. So I'll use this one. State province versus I will draw the sales. So let me select sales. So state province I have like this, and I can use show me tab to change it to different kinds of visualizations. So I have used this tab, so visualization has changed. Like this we can do, or like this. These only two are enabled because of the kind of our data. So let me use this visualization. This looks better for now. And it has already split into latitude and longitude. So intelligence is there already. So we have not put rows in latitude and columns in longitude. We just dragged the region field on rows, and as soon as we selected from show me, we selected this map, it was available as latitude and longitude and rows and columns automatically. So the value we need is not this, we need sales by region. So these are different regions which are available in our data set. So let me double click on sales. And now the colors you can see. Here you can see there is a legend here that shows the color range. So lower, lighter color means lesser value, and heavier color means greater value of the sales. So how beautifully is it giving us the visualization? And on hovering, it is interactive also. As soon as we hover, it has changed the tooltip also. We can change tooltip ourselves also, but the default tooltip is also very apt. We have included sales, so it has included just the sales and the value of the sales. Since the value here is not in currency format, I will just format it again to currency in this worksheet also, as we did in the previous ones. Sum of sales, currency. And we will do it to single decimal place. I don't think it has changed. Okay, we have to change it everywhere. I'll change to currency US. Zero decimal places. And yes, it is showing in dollars here. So lighter values, the gradient of the values represent the sales quantity. So these are lighter ones near 2000. This is some darker, so it is near 100,000, 130,000. This is looking darkest, so this is $4,57,000 sales. Now let me include this into our dashboard. So I'll close this format field and I have the sheets field, and I'll just rename it and rename it to something like region-wise sales. Okay, so I'll go to dashboard and just drag it here. So we have this region-wise sales here. And although this does not look good in a sideways format, so for changing the location, I'll try to drag, but it is not allowing me. So I'll just right click and select one option that is called floating. So let me drag it here and change it according to my requirement. And you can see the options available with the map. You can zoom in, zoom out and all. And one interesting thing which I wanted to share, which I like the most, is the interactive visualization. So we can see that this is the aggregated metrics which we are showing. And here we have region wise. If I click on somewhere, it displays the regional value in the map. But I want to see these statistics also. So I can use this visualization as a filter. That is very awesome thing about this. I'll just select this filter, use as a filter. We have this option in the right. Remove from dashboard, go to sheet, and there is a funnel-like option, use as filter. I'll just click it. Now, this map will be used as a filter for all other things in the dashboard. So look, earlier these values were not changing if I click somewhere here, but now as soon as I click on Ontario province, we'll get the values for Ontario. These have changed. So sales for Ontario is 7,009, profit is this, profit ratio is this. Here if I click, I have for California different values. North Dakota different values. New York different values. Unclick everything, again the aggregated values. So did you see how we changed values according to our interactive behavior of our click? So we have used one of the dashboard visualizations to change the values, to use it as a filter for changing the values for all other visualizations or dashboard cards. So this is something very interesting about this. And yeah, legend is also imported from our worksheet. Let me draw some other visualizations so that I can show you other options. Let me use a new worksheet for that, because on the same worksheet we cannot do more than one. Let me show sales by segment. So we have different segments here. If we search segments, we have this option of this field of segment, that is a set of string values options. That's why the data type is string. ABC is written to indicate that. So let me rename it to sales by segment. Okay. So now I'll just take the sales field and use it in the column, because segment I'll use in the rows and the sales in the column. And let me select segment. It should be somewhere here. Yeah, segment is here. Let me select segment in the row. It is drawing it automatically. So we can just swap it and show like this, or swap it and show like this. Or we can use the show me bar, and now see different kinds of visualizations are active. So we can change the values according to our priority and needs, and how easily we can display our data in a beautiful format. So let me keep it like this for a while before I add one more field. So if I want to look at this visualization according to the years and dates and all. So I'll use this order date, and it has reached to its corresponding place. We should have kept it in columns, and it has reached there. So we can see here also for different years, different visualizations we have. Like this, we can change and look which are the apt visualization for our need. All are looking good, but let me select this kind of thing, that instead of different years on different graphs or different lines, I will just place them all together here. Now, one more thing. If we have hierarchy, since our order date is in the date format, if we had raw data and it was not in date format, we could have formatted it like we formatted our number. So similarly, we can format the date in strings into our Tableau date data type. So here we have different hierarchies of data. We have plus sign here. So here we have year, quarter, month, week number, day, exact date and all. So here by default it is showing in yearly format. If I go to further granularity, let me click plus, and it has given me in quarters also. 22 quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. If you want to go to further granularity, we can click one more plus, and we have month, May, November, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So we see here we have in tooltips also we have segment, month, and total sales value. We can hover over it and we can see what is the value. So let me keep in a lesser granularity for now. Later I'll change it. So let me change it to year for now. And I'll go to my dashboard and include this also. I'll just rename it to sales analytics. Sales analytics. So yeah, we have one more sheet now available with us because one more worksheet we have created. So let me double click it to have it somewhere. Or let me drag it. So I have dragged it. And let me set it to desired dimensions. I cannot set it from the right. So I'll just, if we cannot modify it, we'll just use the floating option. And yes, it has set. So now see that we have values of year here. If we change anything in our worksheet, it will be reflected in the dashboard. And see one more thing. Here also we have used this map as a filter. So this sales by segment will also change. These are different segments. We can see the legend here. Consumer is corporate and home office are in different colors. This sale by segment. We can place segment side by side also, but I have chosen it to keep there itself because it looks better. But this has to be related to this legend. We can also change the field names also, edit and alias or something. But let me first show you how to change the visualization from our sheet. So here we have year wise, but if we select granularity here quarter wise and go to our dashboard, It is again quarter wise. If we hover over it, we can see that quarter of Q2, Q3, Q4. Let me again change it to just year wise for now. Again, it is year wise. So since I have used this map as a filter, look on this graph, it will also change. This chart will also change. Suppose we have to check data for Ontario. I'll click on Ontario and see. For Ontario, the home office sales was 0, corporate sales was 281, consumer sale was 694. Again, we can change this to dollars and all, but I've shown you, so it's not important now. You know how to do it. Then let me show you the use of filters. So here we have filters. Here we can change by country, but let me use again one more filter. Filter by order date. I take order date from here and place it in the filter. Next, apply, OK. And now I'll use show filter. Show filter, and I have this filter. Let me drag it below. I have this filter. I can drag and change the date ranges, and our chart will change accordingly. Let me use one more. Suppose by segment, we have to only check the sales for those who have profit ratio above or below something. So let me use profit ratio also as a filter here. And I'll use the show filter here. I'll drag it down. I'll just change the name of this. Customize, edit title I'll do. Instead of aggregate, I will just use profit ratio. I can change it to percentage and all that you already know, formatting and all. So if you go to our dashboard, it is not showing it. Ideally, it should show here. But anyways, so one interesting example for sales for segment in Quebec is 0 for our selected profit ratio. So let me maximize it so that there is some value. So this is the way we change it. So let me add one more and we'll stop there. Let me use sales by product category also, and I'll place it here so that our dashboard looks complete. So I'll create one more worksheet and I'll use sales. You can drag it to either row or column and later change it using swapping it. Sales by category, product category. So let me search. If I cannot find it, I'll just search it. Category. So your category, I'll just place it here, and using show me, I'll change the visualization. Okay. So let me add some filters. the same filters, order date and profit ratio. Profit ratio. Apply.
राहुल की तरह ही करना पड़ेगा, इसे बेच के
And
भी
then
छोटा देना
order date.
पड़ेगा, जैसा राहुल ने करा ना अपनी।
Okay, so I will use show filter. And I have the filters here. So let me drag it down. Again, go to our sales analytics. And finally, let me change the name here to sales by category of product. And the name here is also changed. Let me drag it here and do it to change it to floating and place it wherever we require. Which is not looking proper according to this. So let me change it to some other way. I'll select it and go to show me and change it to something like this. And we have something like this. Sales by category. Again, using order dates, we can filter our data. Profit ratio, we can filter our data. Here we have filter according to our one of the visualizations interactions. So in this way, we can show interactive visualization. And we have option of presenting it. If we have a Tableau server configured in our environment or in our organization, we can enter the address of that server from here and we can connect to that. Or we can connect to Tableau Cloud option from here and share it with others so that others can also look at this. So when we want to present it to some client, simply go to presentation mode and use this tab for interaction and changing the data. Okay. And let me try something else. Let me stop showing. Okay. So even we can use this one as a filter for other fields. If I select use as filter, then if I want data for only furniture category, I'll select the furniture and everything will change, every value will change. If I want only office supplies category, I'll click on this and the result will be only for office supplies for different home, office, corporate, or consumer. If I select technology, the values will be for technology field only, others will be filtered. So in this way, interactively, we can filter. Then the third is building stories. So we have a new story option here. So we have different sheets as well as our dashboard here. So we can simply add a blank story point and add captions here that this is an interesting insight or whatever we want to write. We can use text also. We can write any text. Let us dive you deep into the world of sales analytics. And we can change the orientation, size, and the fonts and all. Colors, indentation. So, okay, this may not be the proper one, but the purpose is just to show you how to present your stories. So you have visualization from here, and you are writing your context from here, and a beautiful story will form. Let me remove the content. Let me remove the caption here. So in this way, you can present your stories whenever you want. There's much more to it, but a 1.5 hour session will not allow us that to explain everything. I can change the name here again. Sales Analytics North America. And name has changed. And I can just change the orientation, color, and all. Apply and OK. So whenever I present it, it will be shown like this: Sales Analytics North America. Then our message, whatever we write, we can place it somewhere else also. And this is interactive even in the story. So we can include text and dashboard together. Or even in place of dashboard, we can place distinct worksheet visualizations one by one and place our text one by one. So this was the story. When we present it, we can see that there are these things visible. So we can hide them also. There's an option to hide. It should be somewhere. Let me go to story. Here is hide. So it is hidden. Let me hide most of them. Now if I present, we have sales analytics of North America in our Tableau and this beautiful dashboard. So I hope this session was interesting to you. You have learned something about visualization, and maybe many of you have come across this interactive visualization by yourself, doing it yourself for the first time. So there's a lot more to look into it. There are a lot of options, very rich features. So let me answer the chats. Yeah, okay. Can we make cluster analysis? Of course we can do, but we have to have the data for it. We are not using machine learning now because, but analysis is there. We can use many things like forecast and all trend lines all. But basically our motto is to create a data set first, then we can draw the visualizations here. So we will create cluster somewhere else, that will be better, and visualize it here, that if we assign each point a cluster, so we have a data of that, and we can visualize it here. Although we can do some sort of analysis here also, but it is basically best for visualization. Then thank you if you found it interested. Cluster analysis Tableau is efficient. If you have cluster data, it is as efficient as if this sheet is a very large sheet. If we explain data, it is 1016 cross 964. And if you draw the clusters, that maybe mean whatever number of points that you can visually look from your eyes, maybe thousands you can, then each one of, if you have already the cluster labels found out already, then you can use that. It is efficient. And we are not going for efficiency in it because we are not changing anything and we are not making it more or less efficient. We are just making it more beautiful, interactive, and informative. So for efficiency and algorithms, we can do changes in our calculation algorithms of cluster analysis, like in any of our machine learning algorithms. But as soon as we have the result from them, to visualize, we can use this in the best possible way. So are there any questions? So I hope it was interesting. So, okay, so I think nobody has question. So we are about to end the session. Sir, does it provide better security? This is not for, this is a visualization tool. Okay, for our data. So security as in if you are transferring something, the data is as secure as it is in your storage. So it has nothing to do with security. Yeah, it will not leak it. In the desktop version, the data remains within your system. It is not transmitted until you share. And if you are sharing something along with data as the dashboard itself, if you are sharing, then you know what you are doing, to whom you are sharing. So it does not provide extra security. It does not decrease your security. The security has to be handled differently. Visualization is handled by Tableau. So if you're talking about the Tableau cloud, yes, it is secure. You do not have to worry about your data being leaked or something. Only mistake that can occur is by the user. And the system in itself is as secure as the state-of-the-art security mechanisms are there. So I'll stop here. Thank you everyone for joining this session. Let me stop. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes. Are we having any question from the audience?